Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the PIPCAST, your Pip-Boy supported podcast. This week's episode is brought to you by sweet, sweet Robot Love, because love knows no limits, even if you drink oil for breakfast. My name is Tony Mo, and I'm joined by my co-host Katogenesis and Camel of Camelworks. I would also like to welcome on our guest for this week's episode, Yorkshire Yank. Yorkshire is a fellow Fallout fanatic and YouTuber. Yorkshire, tell the people a little bit about yourself. What do you do with your channel, man?
Hey, yeah, hello everybody. My name is Yorkshire Yank. I do mainly just Let's Plays on my channel, but recently I've been doing a lot of live streaming as well. So if you're into live streaming, make sure to check me out. Do all kinds of games, including Fallout and Minecraft and everything. But anytime there's Fallout DLC, I'm on top of it day one.
I noticed that you've got an insane backlog of streams on your YouTube. I was like going to check out your channel. I'm like, man, there's like enough here for days.
Yeah, it's like 5 days a week.
Days, yeah, 5 days a week.
Yeah,
5 days a week. It's a lot of streams.
So, of course, guys, we are here today to talk about the big one. Automatron came out last Tuesday. We all played it to some degree, and there's a lot to say about it.
Oh, yeah.
So, I guess we should start there. I mean, I gave you guys like a micro outline because I know there's actually a lot of stuff inside of Automatron. I think a lot more than I thought there was going to be. That's for sure. Especially when it came to the actual robot building thing.
I was just thinking that, man.
Oh, yeah.
I guess that's what I want to start with, was ask
Yeah.
each one of you guys, what surprised you the most, like in terms of the DLC? What did you not expect to be there, but was there?
Boy. So Cam, why don't you go first?
Well, then, well, the robot building, that blew me away. The amount of mods and I suppose part selection was mental, man. I still haven't wrapped my head around it.
Yeah. Wow.
Especially in terms of like arm weapons. There's like 30 or 40 choices.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you can
It's
really
pretty
go,
incredible.
Like
it was
super.
It was much
crazy
broader than
spec.
I thought it was going to be.
I definitely didn't expect to see like a cryo later arm.
Yeah.
There's a couple other ones. The hammer, like the battle axe arm. Never thought I'd see that.
This hammer saw or saw hammer thing.
Yeah, I just was like, yeah, I did
Those
not
are
expect to see these
outstanding.
things. I was also like really like in my head before it came out, like thinking which way are they going to go in terms of how you build the robots? Is it going to be pure scavenging, or are you going to have to craft everything? And then when I first saw it, you know, I initially thought to myself, oh, I'm going to have to craft everything. This is going to take ages. But then I was like, no, you can salvage it. So that was actually a nice surprise. The fact that you don't have to actually, you can like, you know, get stuff off robots that you kill.
Yeah. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I like that part the best. I think for me, that was the best, where you pick up the loot from the robots. You're like, oh, okay, now it's a new mod added to my workshop. That's amazing. That's great.
Because there's way too many things that were like looking really awesome. And I was like, I'm way too many levels away from being able to even get close to that perk.
Yeah.
Like Science 2 and
Yeah.
the Robotics one. And I'm like, oh, this is going to take me like 6 levels to even touch
Yeah,
this
robotics
stuff.
expert is
Instead
even
I
above science, isn't it?
believe so, yeah.
like-
Didn't
Sounds
you
like
prepare
intelligence
for the DLC at all, man?
I didn't know about this. They didn't tell me. They didn't tell
No, I
us
was
this,
putting
man.
points in intelligence too.
I was just like, I'm just going to kill other robots and hopefully I can take their stuff. And I can, so I've got a bunch of like Assaultron parts for my robot now and stuff that I just took off other robots that I killed. I like started ignoring the story and just started farming robots whenever I saw them. Just go kill them all and hope they dropped good stuff.
There you go.
Man,
Well-
It was robot genocide. I was like, man, I'm supposed to feel good about killing things with a robot. I'm like, but a robot killing a robot. There's a lot of dead robots. This guy's, you know.
So,
not good.
outrageous crafting aside, the thing that impressed me the most was the fact that there was slight story/character investment in the Automatron DLC. I was not expecting much when it came to like story-driven quest type stuff. I was just thinking more features, more craftables, and we got a full-fledged, miniature storyline instead, which was great.
Yeah, yeah.
We got Ada.
I
Yeah,
agree.
and we got
Ada's
Ada.
like my favorite character in Fallout now. Like,
Yeah.
seriously, like one of my favorite characters in Fallout 4 is her now. Just the way she talks about everything and like, you know, that like half robot, half human infused personality. She's a very interesting character. I had a lot of fun. I actually did not want to like leave her as my companion, but you know, once they give you the opportunity to build your own robot, it's kind of like,
Yeah, you kind of
there's
have
no
to, don't
choice
you?
there. Although you could have just, you know, kept her and upgraded her.
Yeah, you can. Yeah,
potentially.
well, you got to upgrade her, man, because she stinks. They're walking around super slowly,
Yeah.
clunking around.
Yeah, can't stick with the Protectron legs. Like you gotta upgrade.
No. Yeah. You got to get the Robo Brain treads and dual
Because
shift
then,
labs. That's what I
like,
did.
I think it was like midway through. I think somebody. No, it was me, and then also I saw it on your stream, Yorkshire Yank. She got her leg crippled at some point, so she was like twice
Yeah.
as slow.
Yeah. Just limping around, yeah. But the carry weight,
capacity
the carry
is
weight
awesome.
on the Protectron legs. Yeah. Can't go
that's
wrong
why
with
I had
that.
the
But yeah, she's super
Protectron
slow.
legs because my character is like at that point in the game where I'm always over encumbered. So now I just turn to my FN57 over there and I'm just like pile everything inside of him. Like, I just carry all this. Plus, I bought like both the armor pieces. I've got like the mid and the upper, like with the additional carrying capacity. So he's got the backpacks on.
Yep.
Nice. Really, really enjoy. As far as I could tell, the Michael and Scott of Fudge Muppet, they experimented a lot with the unstable weaponry and stuff like that, and they have plenty of really
I saw the video they posted, but I didn't watch it.
Yeah, they have a lot of analyses on like what makes the unstable weapons like actually good in a sense, and how to have a good balance between using an unstable piece of equipment as opposed to the standard. So like if the way they explain it is the unstable weaponry, it does break, but it only breaks for that combat scenario. So like after combat's resolved, like it's repaired again. Which is kind of cool, but also seems kind of broken because I would want that to be a use for the robot repair kits as well, because I don't use them otherwise.
I found them totally useless. Yeah.
It's just like using stim packs on your companions. Most of the time, you're not going to waste a stim pack on a companion when they'll just get up after combat. like.
Right. Yeah, why bother?
Especially if it's dog meat and you're fighting a Deathclaw, because he's just going to tank for 5 milliseconds and get instantly down again. Regardless of how much armor he has on him.
Absolutely.
It's not gonna make a difference.
Did you guys see any of the new weapon mods? I kept finding things like Barrel X.
Oh yeah.
There's all these mods that were normal mods and then had an X on the end, and they had exactly the same stats as the normal mod. And I have no idea where they came from. I don't know if they're from this DLC or not.
They
might be from the DLC or from a recent update
like that now.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Like, but you said they're the same mods though.
Yeah, like I was comparing like the standard barrel to the Barrel X, and it was exactly the same thing.
Did it look different though?
I don't know. I was rushing trying to make a video, so I didn't check. But I saw it, and I
That's
was
the
like,
only
"What the
thing I
hell
can
is
think
this?"
maybe is that they were visual appearance changes.
Yeah, it
to
might
them,
be.
because that would actually be pretty cool. I'd be all over that if we could have multiple types of like silencers or
Like not only do you get a
different grips,
Yeah, like a damage option, but a physical. Yeah, I don't know. Did you guys not experience any of that?
No, I really didn't like pick up a lot of the new weapons and equipments in like the 4 hours that I played. I would say that wasn't enough time for me to even consider my own loadout. I was pretty much just dead set on the robots and the few melee weapons that I picked up during the main story as well.
Or like the buzzsaw and the Assaultron blade?
Yeah, the Assaultron blade, which looks awesome, but my character's useless at melee, so I just like kind of walk
The
around
Assaultron
with
blade
it
is
'cause it
really
looks
fun.
cool, and then put it away right away.
Oh,
The
I wish I had a
buzzsaw is fun.
unique one, man.
Yeah, unique Assaultron blade. Oh man,
Yes.
I would be
What
all
happened?
over that. Freaking Cyber Samurai.
Well, at least we got the Assaultron head,
Yeah, that's true.
That thing.
Yeah. That was surprising. I didn't expect
which
to find
I
that.
made sure that it was possible to kill myself with as soon as I picked it up.
Yes, it most certainly is.
That was pretty good. What about the robot armor? What do you guys think of that?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I spent like 6
Yeah.
hours farming it.
Hey, me too.
A nightmare.
It was like I was wearing it at first, and I was all about it. I'm like, oh, robot armor. But then I kind of just felt like I was in the same position I was with the power armor. I was like, I don't like. It kind of feels like it's taking away from my personal playstyle.
Yeah.
So I ended up like unequipping it. Plus, I was ending up having to put more stuff onto my robot because I was losing all of my carrying capacity bonuses from my leather armor, my armor and stuff like that.
Yeah.
To equip this like insane armor plating.
That makes me curious
The
too.
armor values are really
Like,
high,
have you guys picked up any like legendary pieces that are like the new equipment at all?
Not
No?
at all.
No, I haven't, no.
Okay.
Don't
Well,
think
that
so.
sucks.
No.
You?
I've been looking forward to trying to, but because like every time I see like a legendary Rust Devil, I'm like, oh, he might have some, robot armor, and no, it's just like, stupid hunting rifle or something.
No, it's always the same ones. Yeah. They really need to put mannequins in the game like they had in Skyrim, or where we could display the armor
That
in
would
the
be
Settlement.
pretty
That's
cool.
what I would like.
Yeah, I would like that.
Was it Skyrim or
It was
Oblivion? I can't
Skyrim,
remember
yeah.
if
Skyrim had all the different cases you could put your stuff in. I remember I had like all my houses decked out with like all of the katanas I could find in the game, like all on one sword rack. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Why isn't that in Fallout 4? I have that new robot armor
it
up
was
there
super
immediately on a
bugged.
mannequin.
That's
It looks so cool.
oh my god,
That was
mannequins
part of
probably-
it, but I
that's
think
true,
another part of
yeah.
it is the amount of objects we can place in settlements now that might screw it up even worse.
Especially with like a deletable
That's true. That's a
wall.
good point.
yeah.
If like the rack's on the wall and you delete it, it might
they
do
just
some
have to set it up
goofy
so
stuff.
it drops into the environment, But
Yeah. Or just make freestanding mannequins or something.
yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if that's something that maybe we do get with the update for the workshop. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in there that we don't know about, and I feel like
That's
a
true.
good potential to let us, really customize our houses a little bit more.
Yeah.
Although,
very good
yeah,
point.
I lost some seriously good weapons and armor
I was gonna
because of
pick
that
you-
bug.
I
Because of
lose.
that bug in Skyrim. I lost. Yeah, I lost.
Yeah, where the mannequins
so
used to like moonwalk into the walls. You're like, where's the mannequin?
my problem was when I would try and put like a sword and shield up on the wall, and then like you'd have that issue where if you tried to put two swords up, the one sword would like magically disappear, and then when you took the sword away, it would reappear again. And I remember like spamming that, trying to get two swords on the wall, and then eventually everything just disappeared. The shield, both swords, just gone.
Yeah.
Like the mounting point wasn't on my wall until they patched it, and then they were just gone, but the mounting point was back again, and I was like, the gods have taken my weapons.
I did something more stupid. I put all my stuff in a house from a mod and then deleted the mod.
Oh no.
Dude, I just lost
Oh,
everything.
man.
I was like a level 80 guy in Skyrim with no unique
Jeez.
stuff. It's like, no.
Nothing. The only issue I had in Skyrim with houses is when you'd go into the house, you'd place everything very meticulously. It would look great. Then you'd
And you
zone
would
out
in
and
and
then
it
go back in
flies
the house
everywhere.
later, and then
It would
stuff
go
would just explode
everywhere.
off the tables and the walls and just fly everywhere. You're
3
like,
hours
"God
of
damn
lining
it."
up all your different material claws. I got the gold claw, the ruby claw, and then
Yeah.
you walk in the house and they're all on the floor. I would just scream at my wife because I just left her.
I was the same way.
You just tear all this stuff down. What's wrong with you, woman? I'm sorry I'm never here. I'm out killing frickin' dragons.
That's
Yeah.
one thing I preferred.
Then your companion
That's
would
one
walk
thing I
past.
liked in Morrowind better. How items in the world had no physics applied to them. You could like drop stuff on a shelf and it would become a static object.
Oh yeah.
So you could decorate so easily. It was great. And Skyrim, you're like dropping stuff on the floor and dragging it up, trying to spin it
so
around
it's-
to position
yeah.
it, and then of
Pretty
course it
much
flies off the shelf next time you walk into the
pretty
room.
much the-
Well, at least they made that a lot
same
easier
thing
for
in
us in
Fallout 4
Fallout
as well.
4.
It is easier, yeah, but it's like still. I should say, yeah, most of the stuff does stay on the shelves, except for those damn moon monkeys.
you-
I just want Jangles to sit in the chair in the corner of my house, and he
Jangles.
just refuses to sit up. He's always like falling over.
Well, his
Then sometimes I
limbs
come in the
move
house,
really
it's-
awkwardly by themselves.
Or Quidly. The way he's-
Oddwardly.
He's actually just possessed, and he.
Well, yeah,
moves about when you're
whenever
not
I was trying to
in the
when I was
area.
doing the scavenger squad stuff, like I was trying to position him on the table, but every time like he would kind of topple over, and then his left or right leg would just contort in a weird way, and so I couldn't stand him back up because his other leg was just all over the place. I don't know, possessed,
It's rigor
It's a
mortis setting it or
possessed
something like that.
moon monkey.
Yeah.
Monkey.
They're all possessed.
I mean, they
aren't
could
they?
be.
I have 20. I think I have like 20 of them in my house because I don't leave any behind. I pick them up as I find them and just drop them in the house. So I just have a pile of moon monkeys. And I swear they watch
I've
me
only
sleep.
actually seen, well, until the Automatron DLC came out, I only actually noticed one monkey, and I took him. And I was like, oh man, this has got to be like the only one. And then I'm talking to everybody else, and they're like, oh, there's monkeys all over the place. I'm like, I haven't seen any more
Yeah.
of them. So like in my mind, I was like, there was only actually one, but there was another one in the Automatron DLC that showed up like in a garbage dump outside of the one building or
Yeah.
whatever.
There's a couple
Yeah.
cleverly placed. Actually, a lot of them are cleverly placed. And
Yeah, I found a whole bunch of cool
fine.
stuff.
Did you guys find the other teddy bears
Yes,
that they
I
posed as
did.
well?
I did
The
Yeah,
little like
Automatron.
bedroom
They added
scene.
a couple extra teddy
You see
bears.
that one?
the storytime one. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought that one was
I think
awesome.
I found 3 of them
There's
in the
Pong
Automatron.
one where there's like a Jangles the monkey and a teddy bear playing Pong on a TV.
Oh, really?
You see that one?
Really?
Dude.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I didn't see
That
that.
is so cool.
Yeah, it's great. It's
I know
great
that
when
somebody
you stumble
mentioned
upon
in,
those little
in
scenes.
one of my most recent comments on the I have an Automatron guide, by the way, and so does Camel. You have like 1 or 2. It's going to be 2 now, right? Or more?
I think I got 4 now.
Okay.
Come on, Kato.
I'm sorry, I'm not keeping count of your videos as well as mine. But
It's all good.
oh, I lost it. Hold on.
Well, that's good.
No, the Exo 1 power armor. It seems
Yes.
like that is a concrete spot to get the Exo 1 power armor as well.
What that first Fort Hagen satellite
yeah,
array?
the Fort Hagen bunker.
Yeah.
If you have expert lockpicking, which is the 2nd rank, I believe, you can get your Exo 1 power armor today, and wear it and break things.
Is there there's a whole suit
Yep.
there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then
Seems a
and then
little
of course
bit too easy to me,
the
but what are you gonna do?
the Rust Devil boss has the Tesla shoulders and chest piece.
Yeah, I was going to ask you guys about that. Have you guys used that?
Yes. I used
It's pretty impressive. It increases energy damage. So then if you put the Tesla mods on your armor that emits energy
Yep.
damage to enemies around you, it increases that.
Yeah.
And then of course it increases the... Yeah, dude, it's really like there's some pretty cool implications with that armor.
What I ended up
Especially
doing,
if you have a character that uses energy weapons.
I have a character that uses unarmed primarily. So I gave him the Tesla bracers upgrades for the arm pieces.
Right.
So they had increased, the base unarmed damage and then the increased energy damage from the Tesla bracers having that energy boost. And then I put the Tesla thing on the torso. It seemed like it was a lot of fun, but again, I was playing in the previous survival mode, so I couldn't one punch anything, but it sure was fun because I could take the punishment as well because I was obviously wearing power armor. But it is fun with anything energy based. I think that's probably why they included the Tesla rifle and the Assaultron head pistol thing in the same area.
Pretty much everything's energy based, believe it or not,
Yeah.
in this DLC.
Yep. But that was a fun spot. I like the new locations too.
Yeah, the only thing I didn't like really was that they put pretty much all the uniques in the DLC in like 2 rooms in the same building.
Yeah.
It's like,
I was kind of surprised
It's a
to
bit.
get the Assaultron head almost immediately. It's just given to you.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
just for some reason thought it was going to be a more unique or battle based thing, and also that fight that you get that from was insanely easy, even on very hard.
Dude, its acquisition was so easy. I thought it was a unique robot part. I didn't even think it was a weapon. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that's
Same
pretty
here
cool to
until I
have unique
examined
robot
it further.
parts.
Like it was harder to get Ahab's head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
Was it just me as well, or did you guys find the 2 new dungeons quite short? I mean, I read that they were really long, but I blazed right through them in about an hour.
I don't know. I think they were pretty long, but I was in such a I can't wait to play this. I just smashed them.
I
really
took
quickly.
my time and I thought they were good. I thought they were pretty lengthy, especially the last one.
Yeah, the last one's pretty beast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it felt short to me. I'm not sure why.
I don't know. I enjoyed them. I did. The thing was, the only reason they felt long for me was the first actual dungeon when I switched back over to survival mode to play it, normal survival mode on the Xbox One, and I must have died 40 times.
Oh.
I don't know what it is with my game and survival mode, but every robot I run into just self detonates, and for some reason, you're just caught up in the moment, and then you just get exploded. That was my actual initial impressions of the Automatron DLC, is prepare to get blown up a lot by dead robot parts. because it was like
Nice.
your first introduction in the game, like go kill this massive squad of robots on the hardest difficulty in the game. 15-minute fight, they're all dead. Run up to them like, dude, robot parts, yeah, boom.
Yeah, and if they're legendaries, they will
Boom.
self-destruct.
Yep.
Yeah, they all freaking self-destruct. It's like you keep getting so many legendaries on survival mode. Like I don't know if that was a mistaken, cross issue, where like all the robot squads you run into have like at least 2 legendaries in them, but there's just insane, and then they're chasing you, and then you're killing them, and then you're trying to run away from other things. You forget where that guy was, and then he blows up. And I died so many times. It wasn't even.
You know what?
They don't have to be legendary. I think the big ones explode as well.
I think some of
the
them also just
sentry
have
bots do.
Yeah, the sentry bots definitely do, but there's another type as well. I can't remember which one it is that explodes in the DLC as well.
The Mr. Handy or Mr.
Yeah, I was
Gutsy
gonna say I
has a
shot
chance.
a Mr. Handy and it blew up
Yeah,
big time.
it's like they have a chance if you hit them in a certain spot.
I know another one does.
It does look wicked cool. And
Yeah, it
also,
does.
once you get your robot companion, and he like, I had him running in there. He's got like his cryolator and his freaking laser Gatlin on his right hand, and he's like freezing, like, and they blow up, and he just stands in the middle of like nuclear explosion and just brushes it off like it's no big deal, and then just keeps
Don't even
walking
look at it
forward.
because they're cool guys.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
I was like, that did look awesome. So there was at least that going on for it, but yeah. The problem was once you're in a dungeon and those guys are showing up, like I remember seriously crouching in the one room with my laser rifle, just like letting my robot aggro things. Like, yeah, you just stay out there. I'm gonna stay back here and just try and snipe things. Because if I walked out there, it'd be like 3 or 4 robots that would then self-detonate. It would chain, and I would just like die. It was just chaos.
Yeah.
But at least it looked really cool.
So about that final area, what do you guys think of all the superhero doors? That was very satisfying to me.
I did not get that.
To see all the
Wait, the
superhero
what?
doors.
idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Yeah, Kato. What are you talking? I actually have no idea what you're talking about.
You bring your Ada with you, right, to the last area, and you have her open the doors. And these are the elaborate superhero doors. There's like 5 of them throughout the entire thing.
I know what you mean.
And
now.
they're very satisfying to watch.
Doors that take a half an hour to open.
That first one's cool. It's got like 40 different doors on it. It's just opening, and you're like, what is
it's like the doors.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people get this reference, but it's like the doors of Mystery Science Theater 3000, if you guys remember that show.
No. Never heard of that.
No, you wouldn't, being from Australia.
Yeah, that was actually. They're gonna reboot that. They're supposed to, anyways.
I hope so. Yeah. They got a Kickstarter for it.
I guess let's
I know that
robot
much.
gameplay though. Let's talk about that. Right, we keep talking about the mods and attachments though, but like, how do you guys feel about the robot companions? I have to say, I'm personally disappointed they didn't do more with the command system because it's still immensely frustrating on occasion.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty clunky.
Like it works when you're
never
really
use
patient and you just kind of let them do their thing, but that also means often that you spend. I literally was being engaged by 5 or 6 super mutants, 2 of them with mini nukes in their hands, and my robot's just kind of 50 yards behind me, just standing there, like looking at me, like, yeah, what's up?
Yeah.
Oh, those guys are trying to kill you. I'll be there in like 10 minutes, and then all of a sudden he'd like teleport in after I like ran away because I just wanted to see him kill stuff, like.
Yeah, the aggro system on the robot companions work.
It's like it works great sometimes, and then other times, like I said, he just completely ignores the fact that we're in combat, like for 10 or 15 minutes. And I just have to go and do everything myself, and then he'd like kind of pop back in again. He'd be good to go. He would engage in combat, but it particularly was an issue when I was inside of buildings. I did like a small quest for one of the settlements to go like capture a woman, and we go in the building. And then he just sits at the entrance.
Huh.
And meanwhile, I'm like killing all these raiders. And I'm like, where's my robot? Like, and I ended up just like saving her, walking outside. And then he's out there and he finally starts like killing one of the turrets that was outside of the building. And that was it. It was like, I mean, it only happened a few times, but it was enough to the point where I'm just like, why could they not have came up with like some sort of like actual, I don't know, just a simple toggle, like, passive mode and then attack mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like what they had in New Vegas, right?
Yeah.
With the wheel.
Would be
They
nice.
set them to aggressive or passive. But yeah, that must have been their fears, trying to find the balance between, you don't want to be
even
too
on New
aggressive
Vegas, like it didn't really
every
make a
time
difference at all.
Yeah,
Your dudes
no,
would
it was
still
just
attack
like,
whenever they felt like it.
It must be a tough thing to balance.
I feel like it's just one of those things they just don't have built into the game, and it was like, it wasn't a system they were looking to, to engage with. I mean, like I said, the robot, when he does actually get into combat, even like at the earlier days before I had him like upgraded, when he was just like a cryolator and a laser rifle, like, it was great. He'd kill stuff and it looked cool, and they would all aggro on him. But sometimes
I think there may need to be some experimentation on using multiple different effective ranges of weapons. So like having a melee weapon and then also a mid-range weapon on them, as well as a long-range weapon. Because when I did that with my quote-unquote bot Zerker, as I called him, I gave him grenade launchers on the sentry bot back, as well as the hammer saw hands. So like he had some fair coverage, and then engaging the enemy wasn't a problem. But as soon as I removed those grenade launchers and went to, say, one of the quarries, like, he just went completely brain dead.
Yeah, it was the same issue when I was at the quarry, even with his laser rifle on my guy. Like, at the quarry, he would not go and engage anyone. He wouldn't, like, walk down the stairs to get close enough, and he wouldn't engage anyone at range, so I just left. I was, like, doing a side mission. I was like, well, if you're not going to kill things, I'm going to leave, because that's the entire point of this DLC, is to watch my robot kill things. One of the other problems that I noticed, too, having... Like, that was the idea I wanted, was, like, I'm going to have melee and then a long-range thing, so he can be, like, a recon robot. Like, he'll snipe with me, but when it comes down to it, we'll be able to do melee. And before I put the cryolator hand on, he just had, the claw. And he would be engaging, like, at distance, and then melee, it would be, like, a 10 or 15-second transition where he wouldn't melee. So he'd be, like, getting attacked. I'm like... Yeah, man, you're taking it. Like, come on, you can do it. Just hit him back with the robot arm. And sometimes I'd have to kill the guy or, like, grab aggro, and then it would, like, reset, and he would finally melee attack. So there's, like, a lot of weird issues with that, but...
Yeah, that's weird.
I don't know. I mean, how was it for you guys? I mean, you played a lot longer than I did, so...
It was great when it worked. It worked. It derped out. It didn't mess up too often. But when it did, it was usually at the worst possible time.
Right. The only experience I had with the robot companions was Ada during the quest line. It was a pain. Because she's so slow, man.
Oh, yeah, like if you didn't upgrade her.
I was gonna say, my robot still has the Protectron legs, so sometimes he'll be keeping pace with me, no problem. And other times I'll look back, he'll be like 50 yards back, and then all of a sudden his Protectron legs will turn into, like, freaking... Like
Wile E. Coyote.
Like, yeah, he's he's the road runner, man, and he would just be like... and catch up to me.
Really?
And then he'd be standing right next to me, and he would, like, keep doing that. It was, like, this constant back and forth. It was on occasion where he'd actually, walk with me and be able to... Yeah. It's not perfect.
It's more like a burden than a companion.
The anime robots, on the other hand, are just like, kill human, like, and they just rush you down.
Yeah, they'll murder your face.
They don't like you very much, that's for sure.
They're pretty aggressive.
Actually, you know what? Speaking of that, did any of you guys notice, okay, the very first, like, that first dungeon you do where you get the Protectron, the Assaultron, gun, right?
Yeah.
And you get the brain. There was that iBot inside of a cage.
Yes.
And it was friendly.
Yes.
Did anything happen when you guys unlocked the cage?
Nope.
I shot it.
So did I, because nothing happened.
I made it self-destruct.
Yeah, same here.
Well, like, I just don't know what's going on with it. Like, I thought maybe there'd be some little, bit of, like, story behind it, but it was just locked in the cage.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I thought it was weird.
There's a terminal next to it, isn't there?
Yeah, that's what, like, there was nothing on it, though. Like,
it doesn't go with the iBot at all. It was, like, some
information, and that was it. Like, some small bits and pieces of story and lore, but nothing to do with the iBot.
Wasn't that, like, a speaker for the Mechanist?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they all are, like, speakers, but usually they're aggressive. They attack you to some degree.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that thing was doing.
Well, it was in the Rust Devil
it's
Stronghold,
almost like,
right?
Yeah.
So they were probably just keeping it as a project. Like,
That's
maybe
like
first and foremost trying to turn the thing off, because you kind of have to when you get there.
Yeah, I suppose. It's weird though. It didn't do anything when you open the cage. It's almost as if it was supposed to be something, but then they just...
I was kind of hoping I'd be like, fly free. Like, you need to, like, run out of there. Like, take off or something, but...
If you love an iBot, let it go.
Kind of upsetting.
How many of you got speaking of iBots, how many of you got the iBot terminal thing for your settlements?
What?
I think that only.
What did you say?
There's an iBot terminal. Like, do iBots patrol your settlement?
They don't patrol your settlement.
It's the scavenging iBot dudes.
Yeah, the scavenging station thing.
Oh, okay. So it's like an alternative scavenging station, basically.
Kind of. It's basically it's like a giant crate with a top that opens on it, and it's got a terminal on there. And when you open up the terminal, it allows you to search for specific things, like ammo, explosives, and uncommon junk items. And you choose one, and then an iBot flies out of the container, and I think within like 8 hours or something like that, it returns with a location that it puts on your map.
What?
And you go, and it basically spawns, a bunch of whatever that is, or if it's like a nuke grenade, you get one at that location, and then you go to that location and pick it up.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I was actually having them search for cannonballs because I would get like 30 to 40 each time I would search for it. Which was
really?
awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn,
man.
That's a lot of cannonballs.
Yeah.
Things are hard to find. That's like the only reason I don't use that gun, because I never have cannonballs.
Yeah. And I did the same for the nuka grenades, because you can only get them from the Children of Adam, and very rarely from explosive crates. So
interesting.
Stuff I like. I really like stuff like that. Like, I kind of hoped we'd be able to, like, send our robots out, to do things on their own.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So you can basically generate more radiant quests from your own settlement. Yeah.
That's cool.
So have you guys, like, how many of the sort of like original vanilla missions have you done, or like, quests have you done with your robot? Like, any at all?
Nope.
No, I didn't.
Nope.
No, I haven't done any, man.
I used my most advanced character for the Automatron DLC.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, because
Yeah, same here.
I have the 2 characters, so I did it with one of my earlier characters too. Like, the characters I built with basically like no health whatsoever, is like a survival character that's focused on like long range combat and stuff like that. And so he's like, I got him to 18 or whatever when I went to play it, but I actually had more fun on that character with the robots than I did on my high level one. Like, because the robot like seemed to screw up less with the lower level, like, bouts and battles. Plus, I feel like that was when it was the most enjoyable experience, wasn't when I was doing the dungeons or the story, but when you actually are just out exploring with your robot, like finding, undiscovered areas and like heading into the mountain, like, the different parts of the map. Like, it was wicked cool at that point, because it's just like you and your robot like walking across the map together. Like, bandits show up, dispatch the bandits, steal their loot, move onward, kind of just travel together.
Speaking of story stuff, I did learn some things about story stuff.
I thought you kicked your toe or something.
Whoa! Okay. Speaking of story stuff, Codsworth and Curie can both be customized at the robot station. Yes.
Oh, really? How do you make that happen?
You have them in your party, and you go to the robot station, and you can select them. Or
it's pretty good, man. You can do things to Codsworth that aren't legal. You can change him in ways that come from horror movies.
What if he got Curie the human body, though? Can you still customize her at that point?
No, obviously. You would get... you would actually lose the robot upgrades that you did, because, her body becomes... Her previous body becomes useless after that point, so... Yeah.
Man, I want to take her hands off and
that
give her
would be
a chainsaw
awesome.
or something.
God.
That would be pretty sweet.
She's such a sweetheart. Little toothy on the hugs, though.
My only complaint about Ada, you see, is she didn't have a French accent.
Yeah, that is a bummer.
It's my complaint about every character in Fallout 4.
Except Curie.
Exactly.
Like, they didn't have a French accent.
They don't sound like Curie.
That's awesome. But yeah. On top of the I don't know if you've tried the what are they called? The Mr. Handy body types. But you can put arms in the eye spots and vice versa.
Really?
Yeah. Like the Mr. Handy body you don't put a head on top of it because it has 3 eyes that come out of it. So you actually got a top slot that you can put more armor on top of, and then you can have arms or eyes coming out of the arm slots, and then the eye out the front, and then you can have the multiple arms on the bottom, or none at all, or legs or something. It's pretty cool.
Wait a second. How many arms can you have if you just went all arms?
I think I counted
5.
20 arms in that
a
spiel.
lot of arms.
5 total.
5?
Yeah. The 3 on the bottom. The 3
That's
on the
a lot of
bottom, which if you do have 2 upper arms, you can only choose between like the saw blade and the hand attachment for the lower arms. But if you don't, you can choose like multiple like firearm type arms on the bottom, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. Mr. Handy customization.
5
Fun stuff.
5 buzzsaws.
This is like a floating turret of death, essentially.
Yeah.
Then.
Yeah, sounds like it.
That's how I geared out mine anyway. I was like, come here, Codsworth. We're going to make you a turret. And we
Flying
did.
turret.
Yep. I gave him 2
I heard
lasers,
that, you know how in the lore the Mechanist is from the comic books? Is a comic book character?
Yeah.
Apparently, if you wear the Silver Shroud costume when you go and talk to the Mechanist, there's unique dialogue options.
Yes, I keep hearing about this.
I haven't confirmed this, but I have heard about it. Yeah. Have you guys tested this out?
It is.
Yeah,
York
did it on his
it's
stream. I
confirmed.
don't think I caught it on your stream. I think I was right in the middle of something. But
Yeah, just check the archive. It's in there. But yeah, you get the Silver Shroud dialogue, or it says like respond as Silver Shroud or something. One of the options that you get, and he pretty much just goes, "I'm here to stop your tyranny, Mechanist," or something like that. You know, it's pretty
Did
great.
anybody make a robot that doesn't talk, that just makes clicking noises?
yes, it's
Because that's also pretty
It's a lot of
hilarious.
fun.
I'd love to see how the conversation
That stuff is
progresses with that.
horrific. I was shooting a robot and it was making these clicking noises and it was horrifying, man. It was so ugh.
It's like the ultimate evil robot, and then your character's just like, yeah, really, I know. Or you can be like, this is not going to work out. Like, how you can just play
what's
along
one of
with
the
it, or
one of
you
the
can-
lower ones? Is that like the dark beep? Is that what it's called, or something like that?
Yeah, there's like a dark.
Yeah,
click,
I put
and
that on
then
my
there's a dark beep.
on my one that's just a
Oh, man, I
torso
haven't tried that.
flying around. Like that's what I that's what I made him do.
The first mod we need to see is Dalek voices for the companions.
Yeah.
Oh, I was
Doctor
gonna
Who
say
fan.
R2D2 clicks.
Yeah.
No, there's going to be there should be at least a whole bunch of robot voice packs. I wanted Mr. Butlertron from Clone High. I don't know if anybody is familiar with that, but he is hilarious. He calls everyone Wesley, and
Wesley, what kind of voice does he have? Is he like
it's
English
no
or something, or-
it's a very robotic voice. It's Wesley,
okay.
you know.
Wesley Crusher.
I'll send you guys a link when it's all done and over with. But there was one other robot that I wanted to do. I can't remember. I wanted to include. Who's that one from Knights
That
of the
one
Old
from
Republic?
Space Odyssey. Is that what you're thinking of?
Could be from
Nope.
Space
Okay.
Odyssey. But from
You're talking like Danger Will Robinson.
from Knights of the Old Republic. Are any of you guys the Star Wars games players?
C-3PO.
I'm not. No, not that one. That'd be annoying. Anyway,
Oh, what? General Grievous? Is that what you're thinking of?
no. Listeners will know which one I'm talking about. He's a party member and he hates humans or anything organic.
I honestly cannot. Yeah, it's been so long since I've actually played the Old Republic. To be honest, I completely forget about most of the characters. As sad as that is.
But yeah. Anyway, mod potential massive for
Yeah.
crazy hilarious robot voices. Get on it, mod authors.
Oh yeah.
In fact, you don't need the GEC to replace audio files. So, yeah.
I'm sure. I was
Get
gonna
on
say. I'm
that.
sure people are already toying with it. And then we just have to have the ability so our robot can play music as we go into battle. Like
Oh,
the
nice,
Valkyries
yeah.
all day long.
Dude, that would be sick.
Oh, let me see if I have. I'm gonna bring up the Fallout 4 Nexus right now. Just check.
She's such
I was just gonna do that.
While
Kato.
you're doing that, I mean, well, Kato, I think haven't any of you guys tried the survival mode beta yet?
Yes.
Apart from Kato.
Oh,
I have not.
Yes.
I'm probably actually going to pull the trigger this weekend on my PC copy of Fallout finally, just so I can mess with the beta, and it's a good timing, I suppose. So
Yeah. So you would have to make a new character in that case.
yeah, I'm all ready to just
Pretty
start over
much,
for
yeah.
sure. I mean, they pretty much confirmed everything. Most of the stuff is actually what we saw in that leak earlier as well. There hasn't been, not that I've been able to notice too many changes. But probably one of my favorite things is that they've repopulated the locations on the map. Like, everything's actually different. Like, they didn't just, like, add all these other small effects. They actually repopulated enemies and loot across the entire map to make it completely different, to make it work with survival mode.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is awesome. It's so funny because there's actually a little clip on their update, right? And it's one of the animators for one of the animators, and he's talking about how he plays the game. And he says, "My routine is completely different this time around. Sanctuary is my sanctuary. Each day I venture out in search of supplies and I return home with stuff. I take it one day at a time. I need to live." So before, it was right before the Automatron DLC came out. I was leveling up the new character that I had planned for survival mode. And I was like, well, what if I just make my own rule set and try and play survival mode for one night? So I made it so I couldn't fast travel. I made it so I couldn't save unless I was at a base, unless I was going to sleep. I stuck it on survival mode, and then I just did a bunch of other small stupid things to try and make it as hardcore as I possibly could. And that's what I ended up doing. I walked out of sanctuary. I would go a little bit. I'd explore an area that I hadn't done. I would get the loot. I'd go back to my base. I'd drop it off, store it all, go through it. I'd heal up. I'd sleep, and then I'd head out again.
Wow.
I just love the idea of that, because it's that's exactly how Stalker was, the Stalker for the first-person shooter games that were very survival, post-apocalyptic type thing, is you never go out and actually do more than one activity because you're guaranteed to die at that point.
It's pretty cool. It makes the wasteland feel like a wasteland.
Yeah,
it does change the whole landscape of the game, I think.
Yeah, it does.
I think one of the biggest ones too that I thought was pretty cool was the immunodeficiencies. So any items that cleanse your body of rads come with the cost of making you tired and temporarily damaging your immunity, leaving you more vulnerable to illnesses than usual. So now Radaway has a negative effect, whereas right now it's kind of just
same with stim packs, actually.
You just everything can have a negative effect.
Stim packs make you hungry and thirsty. So as soon as you heal yourself with a stim pack, you're just like, oh crap, I need to eat right now. Or you get fatigue just by using a stim pack, which is great.
I'm just gonna become the ultimate cook and just cook.
Yeah, since I've already been used to doing the cooking at the cooking station thing often. It's still pretty difficult, pretty challenging, trying to manage all of your gear and food and snacks and drinks. But it is very fun. It is very fun. But can I share a story of my first experience leaving the vault?
Yeah.
With survival mode?
Of course.
Sure.
Okay, so as you may or may not know, if you leave the vault and go northeast-ish, or east-ish, anyway, north of Sanctuary is this little camp with a raider and a dog. And I usually go there first to go.
Is there a house there?
Yeah, it's a little shack.
And a dead woman on the floor with a bowl of noodles next to her?
Yeah.
Yep. I know that house.
I'm sure you do. So that was my first location after I got out of the vault, started looting everything, because that's the save I started from, was just the leaving the vault save, not the not the entire beginning of the game. So I went over to the shack and I built my character as a melee character. So it's strength, full strength, half endurance, full agility, and then everything else at one. So I started, making my way up towards this raider. And, of course, he's got a gun. And he shoots me once, and then I get a fifth of my health taken out, which that kind of sucks. So I hide behind a tree until he gets close enough, and then I VATS him, and he dies. With 2 hits. So then I'm ignoring his dog at this time, which is a very bad idea, and you'll find out why in a sec. So I kill the raider. I do the R loot button, which brings up the loot interface instead of just quick looting, so it gives me a moment to just like relax for a sec.
Yeah.
And then I go out of the loot interface, and then I face the dog, and then I swing at it, and then the dog tackles me and rips my throat out.
Just like that.
And this is after I just got a little chunk of my health taken out by the raider. The dog just one shot me. So
Jesus,
that was my first experience, and the game
survival.
loaded back at the vault entrance.
Oh, because you had to save. That's right.
Yeah, you can't save until you sleep.
That's so good, man.
I
love that. It's like
extreme.
every encounter is like calculated now. You actually have a reason to scout out an area and to recon.
But I will tell everyone, like, if you're going to play survival mode, don't play it like I am in Melee, because
oh god,
you will get frustrated.
No. Yeah, it seems like stealth is going to be a big part.
You have to build stealth if you're
surviving.
I tried to get as far as I possibly could. I'm like level 7 or something like that, and I've still died so many times just from a raider with a shotgun, like seeing me and then immediately pulling the trigger and I die, kind of thing. So like there's no it's not forgiving at all.
Yeah, it's like the idea of Melee sounds awesome, but then it's like, I mean, it's no doubt that's still going to be an amazingly fun playthrough, but it's like then you remember like 80% of the things you run into have guns.
Yeah, and Melee users don't have
like,
shields.
Right.
Oh, so, yeah, exactly. There's no shield device.
Yeah.
Apart from like trying to tank or, distract with a companion, maybe.
But on the other hand, if you decide to go Melee with a bunch of explosives, which would be kind of a pain in the butt to build that way anyway, because of stupid perception. But if you bring, just base level explosives with you, I was able to kill like large groups of enemies with just a couple Molotovs because of.
So you could build like a sort of saboteur build, like melee and explosives, like pickpocketing people and putting bombs in them, waiting till they walk next to their friends, and then.
Yeah.
Well, you could probably set up some cool stuff.
I mean, pickpocket
is
just rank 1 of perception. So, if you
it's too bad,
still ran the agility build, you could definitely do a pickpocket build.
I say it's a shame that you can't like a grenade doesn't become a physical item when you place it in a character's pocket, because then there could be the potential to place grenade in character's pocket, sneak away to a distance, snipe grenade in pocket, kill everyone in the air. So I'm thinking in my head like, oh, that would work. And I'm like, wait, no, that's not how Fallout 4 works. You can actually see the grenade. Thinking of different games.
Yeah.
One of the things I want to point out on the update page for the survival mode is the ridiculously tasty concept art that they posted along with this post.
Oh yeah,
that makes me hate them, because like this just seems so much more rich. I'm not knocking down the Fallout world. Fallout 4's world is amazing, no doubt about that, but I'm such a sucker for the more like dark side of it, like more stalker stuff, and that's kind of how this artwork feels. Like just the way the guy looks with like, his gear, he's got like the long, rugged like thing. He's got this, the satchel on his back all tied up and stuff, walking across, this wrecked giant jumbo jet with his rifle and his dog. Like, it just looks so damn good.
It does look, yeah.
He looks like a survivor.
It does,
And the world he's in
Yeah.
looks way worse than it does in game.
It does. It just looks, there's just a darker
Yeah.
sense to it. Like, I don't know. It's just.
Well,
I guess that's always the thing with concept art, though, is like concept art, captures the worlds that you only wish that you could only imagine, and then when they put it into games, there's so many realizations like, yeah, we can't actually put that many, objects in one area of the map. Because
that's the thing about concept art.
The game would be 600 gigabytes.
When somebody does concept art, like it is incredibly detailed. Most of the time.
There are a few games that manage to actually push to what their concept art looks like.
Yeah. You have to also consider there's, it has to be within the game engine as well. And concept art is completely freeform, isn't it? Whereas the engine is very restrictive and they have to work within those confines, especially if they're using the old Skyrim engine, which they are. So
it's just, you can tell
only so much they
the
can
artwork
do.
isn't the same direction they want it to go. This is like far more, like I said, Stalker-esque for people who know Stalker.
Right.
It's far more like Metro, it has like a very, gritty vibe to it. and it's just not really the same what Fallout's ever gone for, which is fine. I still like Fallout's world. It's just kind of want them to make a game like this now. That's something else. Although you can see Liberty Prime in the background there.
That's pretty cool.
Or whatever that.
You want it to just be a hopeless.
I love that
survivor.
That's exactly how Stalker is. Stalker is like you described, Kato. Like, you start up Stalker and you're just like, all right, where do I go? Okay, well, they tell me to go here. Oh, I accidentally ran into a pack of dogs that are on like a procedural patrol route. Like, they never patrol the same thing in Stalker. Like, in the most recent Stalker game, all of the AI had like their own sort of interests. So, like, in one load of a save, you could load in the exact same spot at the exact same time. Those dogs could be derailed by some other action in the game. Or they couldn't be derailed and they'd end up walking into your path and then they'd tear you to shreds because there was a pack of them, and you can't survive a dog attack. There's no amount of armor in Stalker that will help you survive 6 rabid dogs. So I love that Fallout, is going that direction with the survival. So that's probably going to be enough for me. I won't need that, completely.
There is a couple cool things I wanted to mention because I did get to experience about 4 hours of it before we started doing the PIPCAST. And those of you who have the opportunity, I would say, give it a try, listening and part of the podcast. But first and foremost, it's brutal as hell. And fatigue status. It's like a generic type status effect where, like, if you're hungry or thirsty or something to that effect, it reduces your AP, kind of like radiation does your HP. And then hydration, it is very important, just like food. I don't know if it'll kill you after a certain point, but I'm pretty sure it probably would. But it reduces your attributes. Also, lack of sleep does that as well. And diseases and illnesses are like modifiers to this. So, like, my character got parasites from a rad roach, and now he requires more food to be nourished because he has worms.
Tapeworm eating
It's worms.
So,
oh my god,
it's really cool. And over encumbrance, I did this several times because I'm a pack rat. Over time, if you're walking at walking pace, over time you will take chunks of damage, and then of course your legs will be crippled after a certain period of time.
Yeah, even they talk about the robots as well. We were just talking about repair kits, being essentially useless. Well, if you don't repair your robot, they'll just return home.
Yeah, same with all companions. Yeah, they'll just go away.
Nice.
Yeah, later.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I didn't read into that part. I had dog meat with me when I went to Concord.
He disappeared on you.
Well, he got slapped by the death claw, and I was just like, that's your own freaking fault. You don't headbutt a death claw and expect to live. It's just how it works, unless you're very prepared.
What I think is coolest about what I've read about the survival mode is locations you've cleared will now repopulate with new enemies and loot at a significantly slower rate. So it's almost as if the guys that you kill or raiders you kill will stay dead for a very long time, which I think is pretty cool. Adds more to the realism, especially when the world starts to become more and more depopulated as you explore more locations.
Yeah, there's then like a good sense of, I know that I can take this route home and it's going to be safe because I killed every damn raider.
Yeah, or if there was like there was like a bed in the last location that you were in and not this one, you could, or last two locations back, like you could go back to that location, use the bed, and then come back and not really encounter much in between.
Yeah, or if you think, oh no, I'm low on food and water, I can go back and get some of that. Oh no, wait, I can't because it's not respawned. If there's no more, I've already looted that place dry. I scavenged everything from there. That's pretty cool. I like that.
Sounds lots
You have to find a new location.
Is there any mention of the vertibirds with with the Brotherhood of Steel?
Oh my god!
Because you can't fast travel, so that would be an excellent way to get around.
Yeah, it would.
That would be a massive perk.
unless you're like me, and
Yeah, it would.
well, actually, it'd only be my main game save, so I'd be all right. I was gonna say I'm actually my side when you mentioned that was just like, holy crap, the Brotherhood hates me. I'm gonna die all the time from those vertebrates.
Well, yeah,
They showed
those
up
attacks
in the Automatron DLC when I was fighting the first group of robots. They actually showed up.
Nice.
And they're flying
That's
overhead.
great.
They dropped a bunch of dudes right into the middle of all those robots, and they got murdered. And I just laughed so hard.
That's funny.
I was like, you.
That's
idiots.
awesome.
That is what you get.
I hope they never fix the vertebrate pilots who don't know how to fly their vertebrates.
Yeah.
They're like,
It's the greatest.
It's pretty impressive.
Oh, whoa.
It's the greatest.
What?
it's just because you can imagine they're always flying angry, and that's one thing we know. It's like you don't drive angry, you don't fly angry, because then you just end up being a bad driver. And I feel like they're always
Yeah.
just hell bent with some sort of other purpose.
I think random thing that just happened. I think the Skyshine devs left a comment on my Bedlam stream.
Oh, nice. They just updated that game,
Yeah.
didn't they?
No, that's
I
cool.
need to play the new version. I'm glad they listened to people on that because I didn't feel that the original combat mechanics were 100% fun. Or as fun as they could have been.
As far as I can tell, they split it. They made a campaign turn-based, which is the one I played on the stream, and then they have arcade mode, which is a lot more like the Blitz system that they started with. So you get to choose now.
Yeah, the Blitz system was all right. I liked it and I hated it at the same time.
I ended up liking it more after I played through this time because the more enemies that were on the field, the more actions they got that I didn't because I only had 4 dudes at max. So, and if the enemy has 8 to 10 or 6 to 8, they get to move all of those. It's a strategic disadvantage, like a huge one.
Yeah, I could see that.
But it was still fun. Still won. Was expecting more, actually, like the 4-phase boss fight, but you don't get that in the campaign. Oddly enough. Anyway,
I have no idea what you're talking about. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Sky
same.
Shine's Bedlam. It's the post-apocalyptic, very colorful, isometric, like FTL-like, roguelike type game. And they had a recent update that I streamed last weekend.
And the devs have commented on your stream.
Yes.
Cool.
At least that's what
Awesome,
I
man.
can. At least that's what it looks like. I could be wrong. But the account name is Go Bedlam, so it might be them.
I'm pretty sure that's their YouTube channel, which I don't think they posted stuff on ever, like content-wise. But I guess speaking of other games, then actually just not really other game stuff, but I don't know if you guys have heard of Google's DeepMind AI. It's their crazy AI, kind of like the
Dude.
AlphaGo AI.
That thing was the best.
Yeah, they've now started training it to play Hearthstone and Magic the Gathering.
Wait, are you talking
Fair
about that
enough.
Twitter thing?
What? No, I'm not talking about the thing that.
man.
What are you talking about? The Twitter thing was Microsoft, yeah, that everybody
Yeah,
turned into
that's
a
what
racial
I'm thinking
slurfest.
of.
No, that wasn't it. I was gonna ignore that because I felt like that was so incredibly sad that 4chan actually has that much control over something.
Oh
Can
man.
ruin an AI.
Oh, they
experiment.
just
brilliant.
wow. Yeah.
They turned it into this racist slur bot, which I guess in some ways is a good way of exemplifying the idea of nature and nurture kind of being raised in your environment breeds you to be like said environments.
Yeah, if you
That's terrible.
if you're in the company of douchebags, you become one yourself. Weird.
Yeah, they had to actually turn they had to turn the AI off on Twitter because it was spitting out
It was in less than 24 hours. It went from
Nazi.
so nice to see you all to Hitler was right. Eradicate everyone. Jeez.
And this is supposed to be like
Oh
a
my
16-year-old girl as the AI's persona. Is now just tweeting
Oh my
about
goodness.
It was saying stuff like "Spank me, daddy, I'm a bad robot." Just this. Within 24 hours, it was corrupt.
That's so
So
bad.
then this non-corruptible AI, which is Google's DeepMind by the One College, is being trained now for Hearthstone and Magic the Gathering. So hopefully in the coming years we'll see in player face off against DeepMind in MTG, because that would just be amazing. Much like AlphaGo, which actually a human was beat by AlphaGo, Alpha and Go. So that was pretty neat.
Mm-hmm.
Good deal.
I like to think that everyone I verse in Arena in Hearthstone is a bot because they destroy me. So
Yeah.
I try and justify my bad playing by convincing myself I was versing a robot.
I'd be pretty excited for to see what happens with the Magic the Gathering thing.
Yeah, there's a pretty interesting description as to how the AI understands cards and actually reads them. That in itself is this ridiculous process. So that was a pretty cool read.
But
which, of course, if you guys want to read it for yourselves, it'll be down in the description below, as always. But this is pretty much going to be the end of March. March is coming to an end. So April is starting. So, of course, there are some game releases coming out. And I know some of us are probably going to be interested in playing some of those things. So that's kind of what I want to talk about. If you guys had any games in April that you were genuinely looking forward to, and why?
Well, I think the biggest one, obviously, is Dark Souls 3, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's April 12th, I
Yes,
believe.
it is.
you guys have fun with that abuse.
April 12th. That's going to be the big one of the month. I've only just gotten into the series myself. I started playing Dark Souls for PC, the Prepare to Die edition, and I've just started playing Bloodborne as well. And I found that I actually enjoyed them quite a bit, so I'm looking forward to Dark Souls 3.
Cool.
I force those
good.
games on people, which is probably not a nice thing to do because they're definitely games that require some level of masochism. But I feel like it's not actually as deep as people think. Like, it's really just a game that constantly tests your knowledge of the game. And so if you don't, develop that knowledge, well, then you get punished. But it's like, it's fair in that sense. It's not like...
It is. It's very fair. Yeah, I wouldn't like it if it was...
It's not like
difficult for the
Battletoads,
sake of being difficult and unfair. Yeah, exactly. It's a fair difficulty. For sure, and that's
just incredibly
want to keep trying.
Yeah, no, but Battletoads is like the penultimate explanation of
The hardest
games not
game
being
ever,
fair. Because when I was a kid, when I was like 7, I was playing Battletoads. My brother and I would play it like religiously, like we're gonna beat it, and we would get to the same place where everybody got to, which is the jet ski level, where you're on these stupid jet skis, skipping across these islands, and these barriers start showing up. And after about 10 seconds, the barrier frames are faster than you can humanly perceive or see on screen. So you have to memorize where the barricades are.
You have to memorize.
And that goes on for like another 3 minutes.
Yeah.
3 minutes of memorizing where barricades are. Like, that's not fair. That's not,
but when you finally did it, the triumph.
I don't even remember if I ever did, because I probably just wanted to forget about like that.
Yeah,
all
you
of
just
the
gave up
time
long ago.
that I spent on that. This is just terrible. But yeah, Dark Souls is not like that. Plus, Dark Souls, like, the game is like so good at rewarding the player, and not just through completing the combat tasks, but the world design, man, especially in the first game, and now what I've seen in number 3 just looks incredible.
Yeah, I haven't seen much from 3, but I mean, yeah, the worlds in Dark Souls, and especially Bloodborne, which is a similar game. I know it's not exactly the same as Dark Souls, but it is.
It's a Souls game,
It is a Souls game, yeah. It's just incredible, the world and the artwork and the art style. I think is just that's what keeps me coming back. And like I said, it is a fair game that makes you just want to triumph. You want to keep going forward until you finish the goal, till you get more and more powerful.
I got one.
It's good,
but it's not like I'm looking at the list right now. But it's not something I'm going to play, but it's something I would like to one day, which is the Ratchet and Clank reboot see the movie.
Really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
There's a gameplay out for it already, and it is...
Yeah.
It's like the first time I think I can genuinely say that an animated game of that sort looks as good as some of the animated films, like from Pixar.
Yeah. Like, I'm feeling like there is potential for it to be an actually good game.
It looks that good?
Movie.
Oh my god, dude, it looks crazy.
I haven't seen
It
it.
is insane,
because
man. The lighting effects, like the modeling. Is
that's kind of how the original Ratchet and
mind-blowing.
Clank did their stuff. It played like you were watching a Pixar movie in the first place. So, like, I don't see why they waited so long to actually make a animated film.
Yeah, it's a retelling to the original, game
It's
as well. So it's like Ratchet and Clank actually meeting for the first time.
Yep.
They're doing crazy stuff with it too, like, because there's not just the core game; they have like an entire racing thing as a side thing. Like, like that's like what old games used to do. It was like like Jak and Dexter, like, Grand Theft Auto sci-fi third-person game that was. It was just like all these different components in a game you would never expect to exist in. That's already what Ratchet & Clank is looking like.
Of course.
Crazy. I'm looking forward to both of those games, plus Quantum Break, though.
Quantum Break, yep.
Which is actually coming to PC, so that's pretty wonderful, because it was going to be an Xbox One exclusive until last month when they announced the cross promotion, which I'm just a huge Remedy fan.
Does that include PC?
Remedy games nerd.
Does that include PC?
Yeah, it's going to be on PC for Windows 10.
PC and Xbox One. Yep.
And if you buy
that did look like fun.
Get it on the other. Yeah, I mean, Remedy to me is like, Max Payne, Alan Wake is incredible, like great action gameplay and great story. So I'm really hoping that Quantum Break can kind of pull that together.
Yeah, it should be great. It's going to be a difficult game to let's play or stream with its tie-in with the TV show or whatever they're doing. The webisodes.
Only 3 20-minute clips, I guess, throughout the whole game. So at least it's not as frequent as, or as extensive, lengthy as some people thought they were going to be. But yeah, from a traditional Let's Play sense, it's going to be interesting to see how people do it. I imagine there's going to be people out there who just post the link to the... And I feel like Remedy will probably post the clip separately anyways. So hopefully
yeah, I mean, there's some copyright issues to have to keep in mind as well. Unless they do make it completely publicly available.
That's what I'm saying, if they post it on their website, that way you could play the game and then just link people. Be like...
Yeah, exactly. Although I think I did read somewhere about it that watching the webisodes or whatever won't be specifically necessary.
That's what people were saying. It was
they sort of tie in.
Yeah, it was like more.
Yeah, I mean, it gives more background obviously on what you're doing, but it's not completely necessary. So maybe
it's gonna be interesting to see how Remedy handles that. Like, because this is the first time they're releasing a game in a world where copyright claims are very prominent. Like, I feel like they're one of those people who aren't gonna care because I've never heard of any issues with Alan Wake. And Alan Wake is actually a seriously heavily Let's Played game in general by a lot of Let's Players because of the story. So I feel like, I mean, you have some developers that are just so on board, you pretty much message them like, hey, I got a copyright claim. They're like, we'll take care of it. It's usually false anyways. It's usually never them.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Most game companies are just happy for the publicity.
They have brains. And they realize free advertising.
Exactly. Yeah,
they do.
How about you, Camel? Are you just gonna? I mean, are you kind of absorbed in Oblivion still for the next couple months?
In Oblivion? I hope not.
In Oblivion, the game. Like, are you?
No, it's gonna be. I am gonna start doing some more Elder Scrolls stuff. Pretty much since Fallout 4 has come out, it's been all Fallout 4, except for that one video I did, the Easter eggs for Elder Scrolls 4. Which was actually featured on Bethesda's website.
It was.
That it was.
Which I'm pretty...
Yeah,
pretty
how cool
awesome,
is that? Jeez. What a feather in your cap, Camel.
Yeah, I was shocked.
Finally,
like
as I was saying a couple weeks ago, man, the fact that your stuff hasn't been featured, it's kind of upsetting. So I'm happy it has.
Now it has,
yeah, it's pretty cool.
By the most official of officials.
Indeed.
Yeah,
high five from Bethesda.
I had no idea until someone in the comments told me that it was actually featured on the website.
Yeah, that's kind of usually how it goes. I think, like they just throw links down there like nobody's watching. A lot of the time.
It was really cool. Like it's the first. There's about 5 videos on the post, and it's the top one.
This is awesome, man.
That's really cool. We should put that in the description as well, Tony.
Yeah, man.
Be there.
Really cool. So now I expect early access for Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah.
Like
Better.
Stuff, right? You want to let me beta test Elder Scrolls?
Yeah. Hey, it's your buddy Camel
Try
here.
it. Just try it.
Give me a,
and then if not, we can go back to the Steve Irwin Fallout Bestiary.
Oh God.
Idea.
Yeah.
We can do both.
Crikey, a Deathclaw.
Oh God.
Nice.
I think you're the man for the job.
I don't know about that.
That was pretty good, man. I gotta say.
That was pretty good.
I might have to do it. I'm going to want to co-host though. Like I don't want to do a documentary like that by myself.
So it can be David Attenborough and Steve Irwin.
Be like,
We just have two Steve Owens.
we could do like a
Two Steve Irwins.
like I saw the concept for Naked and Afraid. We could do like, you know, two NPCs just without armor hanging out in the glowing sea.
The glowing sea. Yeah, that'll put those shows to shame for sure. I'll give you a rainforest. We're in the glowing sea, radiation level well beyond survivable numbers.
We have faith in Adam that we will survive. And the guy next to him just drops dead.
Skin just melts off.
So, I guess last thing, do they say anything about a date for the survival mode, or is it just beta till it's
I would
done?
guess a week. Since
one of the things
they gave
that
us a beta.
we didn't get to talk about a couple weeks ago either was how they released the beta for the Automatron DLC like 3 days before the Automatron DLC came out.
Yeah.
Which was super weird. I just don't
Well,
understand.
it wouldn't really give them time to fix anything.
No, it wouldn't.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Sort
I
of what's the point,
I couldn't
right?
wrap my head around that. Like, and I also don't know because, of course, those people are under NDA as to how much beta access that actually grants them. They made it seem like it was just Automatron.
Well, it could be for review purposes, or it could be for like a preemptive, like preparing to make the first patch. Because Bethesda like plans to make patches, you know, after the release of anything. So, like maybe they just plan it that way instead.
It's just weird, yeah. Because I mean, just to get through like certification with Microsoft to launch something like that takes like a week.
Yeah.
So, I mean, granted, consoles always end up getting their patches later, but I just thought that was weird. I don't know what they're doing with the whole beta thing with the with any of that stuff. Like the survival mode, you know, has been in testing even beyond the open beta. Like we already knew they were testing it beforehand, like under NDA. So that totally makes sense, you know, to get a beta just a week before launch. But anyways, Automatron isn't really buggy, so I guess everything's fine.
Yeah.
I
Well,
haven't run into
minus the
any
robot
serious
AI,
bugs.
but that's just kind of AI.
That's just Bethesda.
Yeah. I think all of Fallout 4 in general was probably the least buggy game I've played from Bethesda.
It was the least buggy Bethesda game.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
And I was happy about that.
So kudos to that.
So there is another DLC due out this month, correct? That arena one?
Oh, next month, yeah, April.
In
Wasteland Workshop.
April, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah, April. That's what I already think we're in April.
Yeah.
Optimistic.
Well, we pretty much are, yeah.
Yeah, 4 to 5 days, whatever it is. We're pretty close.
like 2 days.
3 days. Like 3 days. 2 days.
I mean, when the
3
when
days.
the PIPCAST comes out,
2
it'll
days
be-
for you,
it'll be-
Camel, because you're in the future over
Yeah,
there.
it's the 30th over here.
Yeah.
Damn time
You guys are in the
travelers.
past.
Yep.
Oh, we should mention this. The Camel, I thought that was the best thing ever, dude, when you messaged me last night.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought I missed the podcast.
I was like, I need to. I feel it's totally my fault. I was like, I need to start actually just meshing because I know the time conversion, and yet for some reason in my head I always forget to just tell you the actual day and date it would be for you. So then to have you Twitter message me, I'm like, it's like 9 o'clock in the afternoon here. I like just got out of work. I'm like sitting there, and all of a sudden I see it, and you're like, I'm like 5 hours late for the PIPCAST or whatever. And in my head, I'm like, you know, you're like 20 hours early.
Yeah, dude. Because you said like,
actually
you said like
Wednesday for you.
5 p.m. Tuesday, and then I was like, all right, 5 p.m. is the morning for me, but that didn't change the day. So I got up at like 8 on Tuesday.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It was good. I apologize.
Well, we all made
good,
it.
that was great.
It was funny.
Because I thought I slept in. I'm like, damn it, I missed the PIPCAST. I'm like, sorry, man.
I think like that's one of
tomorrow.
the cool things though too is like, just thinking about like we're all on different corners of the world right now. Like I thought that was like the coolest
correct.
thing.
Yeah. It is pretty great.
How did you
Technology,
end up
right?
over there, Yorkshire? I actually wanted to ask you that.
Well, yeah, I met my wife about 11 years ago online on a just a random forum
Right.
of
Where
all
are you?
places. And I'm in
All right.
England, Yorkshire,
But you were
England.
born in.
I was born in California. Yeah, then I lived there till I was about 25, and then I met my wife online, and she was English, and I decided, hey, why not move on in with her? And so I did. And I've been here ever
Cool.
since. That's how I
Awesome,
ended up
dude.
here. Yeah, it's great. I prefer it over here now. I like it. It's great.
And you have the I guess the localization thing with your channel. So everybody gets to
Yeah,
fall in love
pretty
with
much.
your American accent.
I guess.
Well then, I guess that's actually one hell of a lot longer than I thought it was going to go. For some reason, I'm like, man, we've only probably been doing this for like 30 minutes. I look at the time. I'm like, oh,
no,
never
it's
mind. It's been like an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's been a good hour.
I guess that's a good time to wrap it up. I want to thank you, Yorkshire, for joining us. It was wonderful to have you on, man. It's actually
man, it was my
there's
pleasure.
always like that slight thought process in my head, like, just how chaotic is it going to be with 4 people? And then it's not. It just works out.
Yeah, it seemed pretty good. No, thank you. It was my honor to be on. Thank you for having me.
And of course, if you guys have any questions or thoughts of your own regarding the Automatron DLC or anything we talked about in this week's episode, feel free to throw it down in the comment section below. Please go check out Yorkshire's channel. I will have a link to it down in the description below. Check out all of his awesome live streams. Check out Camel's awesome feature over on the Bethesda High Five.
Do it.
Of course, you can always check out Kato's channel and my channel for just more Fallout and other game stuff. We will see you guys in the next one.
Goodbye.
Crikey.
See ya.
Someone had to cue the laugh.